Hey guys, welcome back to yet another video, and today I am out here on this hidden lake we have on the property. I got the little bass raider, the 3.5 Mercury finally going. We're going to give that a test, and all of this catfish here. I got noodles, I got limb lines underneath the seat, so looking forward to getting out here. Got about 60 lines total, and hopefully we're going to catch a couple of catfish. Finally made it out here, and unfortunately, I thought I had the engine fixed. The float still has to be adjusted a little bit. It's on the edge, but it's flooding out. So, got to run it really slow and just turn the gas on and off constantly. Anywho, given that, I'm only going to run the limb lines. That way, it's going to be very difficult to keep up with these jugs floating around the lake. As far as limb line go, I have them on these pool noodles. I cut out, make it really easy to wrap these things. But it's just a 5/0 circle hook. I come unwrap them from these pool noodles. And it's pretty easy to set out. And I got one crate here, and that's got like 30 or 40 in this one crate, and it's not even filled. So they're really efficient to pack, especially in a small boat like this. Makes it nice and easy. But I'm going to take this, run it through, take the hook, run it through this loop real quick. And just like that, I don't have to tie a knot when I come out here. Everything's already set up. It makes it a lot more enjoyable and a lot quicker to set these things out. Now, I got some chicken gizzards. I got some brim. I got some livers. I want to do liver and gizzard for this line. The liver has a potent smell to it. The gizzard is really tough. Just doesn't smell as good, or it doesn't smell nearly as strong. So the toughness keeps bait on the hook, while the liver, on the other hand, just makes sure that you have some smell in the water. It just works out a little bit better. So, pushing this through, it's got a lot of fat. Always make sure that your hook is exposed, and once it is, you're just going to set it down in the water. That bait is ready to go. All right, well, that's 2 in the water. I got about 40 of these to go, so I'm just slowly going to go down. And whenever I see a limb like this, I want to set it out nice and strong. A good 20-pound fat catfish isn't going to break this. Alligator might, but they're probably going to snap the line anyway. All right, let's keep going. Well, setting out some jugs, and he just caught this monster right here. That might actually be the record for this lake. It's probably bigger than the one I caught. It was 35, 40 pounds. But yeah, just a cheap little jug.
Saving your sack of corn.
Yeah. Well, if that's a sign of things to come, I'm pretty excited. I got about 25 of these limb lines out while he put these jugs out. And, well, so far pretty productive. I want to try to get 5 or 6 more out. It's starting to get low on light, and it's going to be about 45 minutes back to the house, so we will see. But that right there is a pretty good size one for a lake such as this, where there's just no boats back here really. All right. Yep. Big blue catfish. Yep. 2 moving around, so I want to go pick them up. If I get one that's 5 pounds, I'll be happy. That was pushing 50. But this motor's working on really slow speeds. I'm not flooding it. I'll try to go get this one real quick. That one was just a gar. Unfortunately, they'll play around with them like that. There we go. Woo! That's a big gar. Probably see him on the side of the boat right there. I'm not going to bring him in. He takes one flip of that tail, he'll be in here pretty easy. So I'm just going to cut him off. Let him go. That line will dissolve pretty darn quickly. Not going to risk that. I think that's going to kind of do it for today. I'm going to come back in the morning when it's nice and cool out, and we'll check out these limb lines, give them a little bit of time to set up overnight. Hopefully, we'll have a couple of fish on. Those limb lines sitting out tonight, I really hope we'll catch a couple of catfish. I'd imagine they will. I got them set anywhere from about 6 inches deep up to about 2 feet deep, just depending on the limb. Granted, they're about 5 feet. I wish they were a little bit closer to 6-foot lines, so next time I go to make some, I need to make those lines a bit longer. Now, that mercury I have, it's still having issues at 3.5. I don't know why it continues to flood. I don't know if the float still needs to be adjusted or whatever else. For those of you that have that motor, if you have any suggestions, please let me know. That carb is completely clean. All the parts are OEM. So you've got me at this point. Full throttle, it floods out. At quarter throttle or idle, it did just fine. I stopped having to turn the gas on and off, so who knows. Anywho, just picked up this Minn coated trolling motor as well, because my other trolling motor, of course, is going to have problems too. And every time I buy a new trolling motor, I'm shocked at, well, just how cheap they're getting. Long story short, this thing feels flimsy as it can be. I'm thinking that's going to break immediately. And then they didn't even have the Minn coated plug or some type of adapter. So they just have 2 cords at the end, put in the battery. I mean, it's not awful, but at the same time, not great. I kind of wish I had the adapter because the battery's supposed to sit in the back. That being said, I went ahead and purchased a lithium battery. Going to give this a shot. My lead acid ones, they seem to last a year, that's it, and then they fall off. So I'm hoping if I can get 5 years out of this, I'll definitely get my money's worth. Excited to try that out tomorrow. Well, the battery works well. The troll motor's doing about what I expected it to do, quite honestly. Handle's already come off once within 15 minutes, so good sign of things to come. But we're slowly getting out here. We'll get to these lines and hopefully have a couple of catfish on. Something on it. I saw him. But it is stuck, whatever it is.
Might need a net to bring it down there.
Yeah. I honestly don't remember. I think Ricky made I know Ricky made those. Gonna try to cut it off?
Well, there he is. If I can get him to where he gums up, I can grab him, put him in the net, I can find the rope and cook. I found him.
There you go. Well, that's a good sized one. You want to use that net?
You grab the net?
Nope, I'm just going to lift him on out. That's a good one. Well, there we go. How about that? Now, the reason I have these loops already pre-installed, it'll cinch up on this branch, but also when I go to pick these limb lines up, it's as easy as that to get them undone. Reusable. Don't have to cut anything. Get out these limbs. And then I grab a piece of pool noodle, push it off my tag end. I'm just going to wrap it around. I want to have a little bit of, or be a little bit taut. Don't want it too loose. Tighten the hook up. Push it in. That one it is all put up and ready to go again next time. Not sure what was on this one, but it had to be pretty good to launch this line back in the tree. It's got it all tangled up and everything. Definitely cut it off. Man, that would have been the first one on the limb line today, but unfortunately not. That's how it goes. Man, we've been catching pretty good catfish this year, pretty large ones. I kind of picked this limb because I figured, well, with it bending the way it was. Kind of helped set the hook, but evidently just wasn't strong enough to hold it a little bit more rigid. Well, I didn't have the best of luck. A couple of fish were caught, none on the limb lines. Just left them out a bit too long, had some hooks that were bent, lots of cut lines, things of that nature, but it's just how it goes sometimes. Might just have to do a night trip in the future. That being said, on the jug lines, did catch a couple. So we got 4 total this trip, 3 really good sized ones, plus that 50-pounder yesterday. So not too bad. If we would have been out there last night, we probably would have had 10 to 15 catfish easily. But that's going to do it for today's video. I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, please make sure to share, like, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.